Welcome. In this video, I'd like to show you what the best process towards optimizing images is when you're trying to upload a bunch of different images onto your WordPress website, or if you're simply realize that you're trying to upload an image that's too big and it's going to force people to spend a lot of time trying to download it when they're visiting your website. Well, in this video, I'm going to help you try to identify some tools that you can use to really optimize those images and what the correct process is towards uploading that optimized image onto your website. So there's a few different tools that we're going to be using in this video. Shortpixel, WProcket, and Bunny. So Shortpixel, as you can see, is the best image optimizer out there for WordPress. We've been using it for plenty of time now, quite a few years, and we've used quite a few other ones, Optimal and some free ones as well. Shortpixel is truly worth the investment. We've been using it, like I said, for quite a few years now, and we really like the way it works. It's very simple. It's very comfortable to simply be able to rely on Shortpixel to really squash down the size of our images. Yeah, let me just walk you through how it works. So as you can see, I'm in the Shortpixel website. Of course, they're going to definitely be promoting the best image out there in their main homepage, but that is essentially how it works, as you can see. So they took a 300 kilobyte image and they squash it down by getting rid of a bunch of information that WordPress doesn't really need and doesn't make use of. Of course, they do try to bring down the quality of the image depending on how much you want to really squash down the size of the image that you're trying to upload. And so Shortpixel actually offers three different settings. They offer a lossy, glossy, or lossless setting. With the lossy one, they really try to squash down, like I said, on the image quality to really bring down the size of the image. But if you don't want to sacrifice any of image quality, you can just leave it in lossless. And of course, the amount of space that it's going to save up for that image is not going to be as much as for the lossy setting, but it's still pretty good. In my opinion, the lossy one isn't actually that bad in most case scenarios. If you're trying to build a website that's meant for a photographer, or if you're going to be showcasing a portfolio of high quality images, then you're probably going to want to stick to the glossy or lossless setting, which don't sacrifice as much image quality. There's two different ways of actually using Shortpixel. The first one is to log in on their website. I've seen a bunch of other developers dragging and dropping their images onto the compressing tool that Shortpixel has available on their site. I actually, it works, but I actually find it a silly move. Like, you can just install the Shortpixel plugin, and every time you upload an image onto WordPress, it's going to automatically optimize it to whatever setting you've set inside the plugin. Let me just show you how it works. So as you can see, I've installed the Shortpixel plugin, and as you can see, we got a few different things here. So I've obviously covered up the API key, but we've got our three different levels of compression types: lossy, glossy, or lossless. Whatever we pick here is essentially what Shortpixel is going to do every time you upload an image, so pick wisely. You can also tell Shortpixel to back up a copy of your original images. If you're going to be uploading 100 images a day, I probably wouldn't recommend you do this because you're probably going to bloat your database. But if you're only working with a few different images and you're simply uploading a few different images onto your blog posts, then I do recommend you keep a copy of your original images, because if for whatever reason you don't like the way it's optimized, you can just click on that restore button that Shortpixel introduces in your media manager, and it will automatically restore the image to the original version, which is super cool. And if we head on over to the advanced settings, you can see that there's also an option here to create Webp versions of every image. This is actually pretty cool because Webp is probably the default image file to be uploading nowadays onto the internet, mainly because it's not as heavy as PNGs or JPEGs. So that's pretty cool as well. Starting on May 10th, they're going to be charging extra for this. We're in a special plan where we get credits into our account every month, so I've never run out of credits. Still, it's very cheap, so it's definitely worth the investment if you're really going to be optimizing your website so that it's super fast. So the third tool that I want to talk to you guys about is Bunny. So Bunny is essentially the CDN service that we pretty much get all of our clients onboarded into. Just a quick recap about what CDN does. CDN essentially allows users that are visiting your website to not have to connect to your server, which, depending on where you are in the world, is going to be maybe very far away from wherever your visitor is visiting from. So if you live in the States and you get a server in Florida and you have people visiting all the way from London, then it may be a good idea to have a CDN. A CDN essentially allows people to connect to a cached version of most of your content, most of the content in your website, in a proxy server that is, well, in this case, it's all over the world. I mean, Bunny has proxies all over the world, and so it makes it super fast to allow people to connect to a proxy that's nearby them and not force them to connect to the server that may be hundreds of thousands of kilometers away from them. And let's just cover WProcket real quick. I mean, this is going to be super easy. In the media settings for WProcket, which, by the way, you want to make sure you get, it's the best caching service available for WordPress. Inside this fourth tab, in the media tab, just make sure that you've enabled lazy load. Lazy load essentially allows people to not have to load images that aren't part of the current viewport. So if you have a very long blog post that's filled up with, a bunch of different images throughout the entire article, you're not going to want to force people to load the images that aren't part of their current viewport. I mean, you want people to be able to see whatever images are in their viewport. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to try to force people to spending time trying to load images that are, 5 seconds away from scrolling when they may not even get there. That is it just doesn't really make a lot of sense. So let's just talk about a real case scenario here. Let's just imagine real quick that we are trying to replicate Airbnb, or that we are trying to build a real estate website or something. You can head over to Unsplash. Unsplash is a great website for you guys to download free images. They've got really high quality images that are absolutely gorgeous, and I've downloaded this one. But now, if you do this and you try to upload this into your website, you're going to see that these are very, very, very big images because they're of an incredibly great resolution, and they're super heavy in size. I mean, some of these may be like 5 megabytes big, and of course you can't put that on your website. So the workflow is going to look something like this. You're going to download the image from Unsplash, and then you're going to open it up in Photoshop, or I'm using Pixelmator in my case. I've already dragged and dropped it into a canvas that I was working on. Here, if I delete, this is a design that I was working on. And if I actually drag and drop the image here, you're going to see that it's so big that it won't actually even fit in this canvas. But I'm just going to go ahead and open it up in a new canvas here. And you can see that it's 3,600 pixels wide. I mean, I can already tell that this is going to be a very big image. So in this case, if I try to actually export it, I can see that it is exactly almost 900 kilobytes big. This is a very big image. You can't put this on your site. So if this is going to be, let's just assume this is going to be the image that I'm going to put in my main hero section. I can simply go ahead and empty out the canvas. I'm going to create a new one that's 1920 pixels wide by 1080 tall. And that is essentially an HD image. I'm going to go ahead and create a blank canvas. And I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste the image. And I'm just going to make it fit. I'm going to try to make it fit the best I can. And this looks pretty good. This is going to look good. I could just maybe add in an overlay color so that my text, so that once I actually put text using Thrive Architect, it can actually be. And so now I'm pretty much ready to export. So if I try to export this, I can see that it's 200 kilobytes big. So we took the image, a very nice, beautiful image that was 900 kilobytes big, and now it's 200 kilobytes. For a hero image, this is still a little bit too big, but let's not forget that there's still a major part of the workflow left for this image to go through, which is being optimized by Shortpixel, which is probably going to bring the image at least in half. So it's going to cut it in half. So that leaves us with a hero image that's going to be like 100 kilobytes big, which for a hero image, we can work with. And then, of course, it's still going to be cached by WProcket and BunnyCDN, which is going to make our website super lightning fast. So hopefully you found this video helpful. This is the proper way of uploading images, whether it's one hero shot or 100 images onto your website. It doesn't matter if it's an image that you're going to be using, again, in your hero shot, if it's a product image that you're going to be uploading into WooCommerce, or if it's just an image that you're uploading to a blog post, this is the proper way of uploading images. This is the proper way of making sure that our website remains lightning fast. If you have any questions, just drop them down below and I'll be more than happy to reply back to you. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.